Next is the data manipulation using DPLYR package. So what is in this package? So this package is a very powerful tool for data manipulation. It provides a consistent set of functions that makes data transformation easy and readable. So what it contains? So it has a function for selecting, filtering, arranging, mutating, summarizing, and joining data. It is designed to work seamlessly with data frames and tables. So tables is just a data frames, but in different package. And also it enables efficient handling of large data set. Okay. So another important functions or feature this package contains what we call the pipe chaining operator. So, ito yung syntax for pipe chaining operator. So, this operator allow us to chaining multiple operation together in a readable sequence, and it improves clarity by avoiding nested function calls. Okay, so it's syntax. So when we want to chain multiple operations, so it starts with the data that we want to manipulate, and then the pipe chaining operator, a function under the DPLYR package, which is one of the function is filter, then pipe, select another function, pipe, and then another function. Okay? So in R, meron tayong shortcut keys for the pipe chaining operator para hindi nyo kailangang i-type mano-mano yung percent greater than percent kasi pwedeng malimutan, no? So, ang shortcut keys for Windows and Linux, we have Control-Shift-M. And for Mac users, you can use Command-Shift-M. Okay? So, one of the function under DPLYR package is the filter function. So, filter function extract rows that meet specifications. So, for example, we want to filter in our data sets whose sex is equals to male. Okay, and we use this operator and if we have multiple conditions, no? Sex equals to male and job is greater than or equal to 2. So in our data set, meron tayong variable na job na ang classification, it can be 0, 1, 2, and 3. So it will filter those male with multiple jobs equal to 2 or 3. Okay? So, ano yung mga logical operations that we can use in setting the conditions? So, in R, we have this for less than, this one for greater than, less than or equal, greater than or equal, and double equal for um, equal operation kasi yung single na equal is used for assignment. So, kung naalala nyo doon sa data frame, um, we name yung mga column using equal, ano? That's why for the equal as an operator, a logical comparison operator, we will use double equal. Okay, for not equal, we have exclamation point and then equal. Okay, so we use this operator for multiple condition. So let's have an example. Okay, so for filter, we have to make sure first na naka-load yung ating DPLYR package. Kasi if hindi ito naka-load, hindi mag-work yung ating pipe chaining and yung mga functions that we will use under that package. Take note, kanina na-load na natin siya dito. Ano? So another way to load the package instead of using this, you can simply, in the package list, you can simply put a check. Select this if this is unbox, pansin niyo. If in-uncheck ko siya, na-detach siya or na-unload siya. Okay, pero pag sinelect natin siya, ayan, na-load din siya. Okay, so makikita nyo dito yung package. So yun yung another way of loading a package. Ayan. Okay. So using filter function, So here, ito yung data na we want to manipulate. So from data, dataset, okay, we will use a pipe chaining operator wherein we will use the filter function to filter all the mail with job greater than or equal to 2. And then we're going to save it to a new dataset or data frame. So pagka niran natin yan, ito na yung new data. Ito yung laman niya. Kinuha niya lang from the dataset, okay? Pero this time, yung new data natin, ang laman lang, puro mail. Ayan. So, papasin nyo, puro mail lang na ang job ay 2 to 3 yung job. Okay? Yeah. So, that's another function is the select function. In select function, you can select yung columns. Kung kanina, yung filter, yung rows, yung fini-filter. Ito naman, pwede mong i-select ano lang yung columns na kailangan mo. Okay, so to select uh, a columns in our data frame, so ipapipe ulit natin from where, from what data, and then select, and then just type all the columns that you want to select. Okay, so pwedeng isa-isa mong ilagay, pwede rin colon if consecutive naman, yung magkakasunod na column yung gusto mong i-select, no? Pwede ka rin magbawas. So, pag magbabawas, minus, and then dapat naka-vector C, and then what are the vectors? Ilalagay mo sa vector yung mga gusto mong tanggalin. Okay, so mas madaling magtanggal kaysa sa mag-select, then better to use this syntax, no? Example, gawin natin from the new data. So take note, meron na tayong new data frame. Ito yung data frame natin. Kung ito yung gusto nating i-manipulate, babaguhin natin ito. Okay. From here, ayan, ang gagawin natin, we will only select yung age, sex, job, housing. So, age, sex, job, housing. And then from credit amount to risk. So, credit amount and then up to risk. So, ikukunin niya lahat from credit amount to risk. Okay, so pagkanira natin ito, ang mangyayari dito, i-manipulate niya yung new data and then isi-save niya rin ulit dito sa variable na to. So, kumbaga, kung ito yung laman niya ngayon, i-overwrite niya yung laman nito with the new manipulated data. So, ito yung manipulated. So, kung ito lang i-run ko, ito yung magiging itsura niya. So, ngayon, hindi pa na ma-manipulate yung new data natin. Pero once na sinave ko itong code na ito, yung laman nito, itong code na to will produce this data. But once na sinave ko na siya dun sa new data, mapapalitan na yung laman ng new data natin. Ito na lang yung laman niya. Okay, so if you need to manipulate the data, so you just have to overwrite it. Ganon. Okay. Next, another function. Mutate function. So, sa mutate function, it creates or transform a variable. Okay, so sa mutate function, nagki-create siya ng another column wherein yung laman ng column na yon is calculated or transform using the other variables. Okay, so dito, yung example dito, yung empty cars is actually a dataset built in R, okay, na merong MPG na variable, okay? So, dito, mutate niya, nag-create siya ng another column kay MPL, wherein it will give us, or it will create another column that is multiplied yung MPG variable to 0.425. Okay? So, if you're going to use our dataset, we can also use yung conditional statement in R. So, halimbawa, dun sa dataset, ang naisip ko actually gawin is that if yung credit amount is less than or equal to 50 and yung duration is less than 20, then if they are going to approve or they are going to apply for another loan, then they will be approved. Okay? If not, they will be disapproved. Okay, so for those scenario, meron din tayong if-else function in R. Okay? So si if-else function, ito yung conditional statement in R. It has a syntax na if-else, open and close parenthesis. Ano yung condition? If that condition is true, then it will give us this true value. Okay, if that is false, it will give us a false value. So we can use if else to create or to make an expression for the mutate. Kasi itong mutate, it should be an expression. Ayan, it should be an expression. Kumbaga, the new column name equals the expression. Okay? So, in our data set, if we're going to use yung data set, wala naman kasi tayong ma-manipulate dito kasi konti lang naman yung mga numerical values natin. So, naisip ko na, what if let's create another column here in such a way that it will assess if they will apply for a new loan. What are the conditions that they have to satisfy for them to be approved? Ayan. Okay? So, let's have an example. Ito. Okay. So, from new data, so ito yung new data natin. Ito yung ma-manipulate natin. Ang kailangan, so make sure lang na pag mag-create ka ng another column, yung mga kakailangan sa expression nandoon sa new data mo. Okay? Or dun sa data na ima-manipulate mo. So, in our case, ang kailangan ko lang is yung credit amount and yung duration. So, this is the condition. Okay? So, I have two condition. One is to check if the credit amount is less than 5,000 and if the duration is less than 12. If that is true, then it will give us approved value. Malalagay doon sa column. If that is not true, then it will give us a not approved value doon sa column. Okay, so ito yung column name. Ito yung magiging column name niya. Column name equals, and then ito yung expression. Okay, so pagka nira natin yan, yung new data natin will have a new column. Okay, wherein yung values nito is produced by or using other variables or other columns here in our data set. Okay? Ayan. So, yun yung sa mutate. Ayan. Next is the summarize function. So, sa summarize function, it produces summary statistics for variables. So, in R, meron tayong function na built-in function for mean, for standard deviation. Okay? Meron ding actually for skewness, pero kailangan ng ibang package. Meron ding kurtosis, pero kailangan din ng ibang package. So, may mga built-in naman. So, yung common, which is yung mean and standard deviation. So, we can use a summarize function to give us a table. Okay, so ang ginagawa nito is from the data, it summarizes the data and provide us a new table na kung saan kino-contain ano yung mga gusto mong makita, ano yung mga summary statistics na gusto mong makita. Okay, so ang syntax niyan, open and close parenthesis, ano yung column name nung table na yun. So if that is for mean, then lagay mo mean. Equals, ano yung function na kailangan. So, ang function na kailangan natin, halimbawa, mean. Okay? So, yung function for mean is actually mean. Ayan. And then, nilalagay natin itong na.rm just in case na there are cases kasi na may mga dataset na may mga missing values, no? So, halimbawa, may missing values and still you still want to compute for the mean kahit may mga missing values na siya, then you just have to set to true. Okay? Yung na.rm, it means remove missing values. So, pag sinet mo yun sa true, i-compute niya pa rin yung mean kahit may missing values. Pero in reality, dapat make sure nyo na yung dataset walang missing values. Okay? So, as an example, so kunwari, want to create a table wherein it will summarize yung mean at saka standard deviation ng ating new dataset. Okay? So, isa-isahin natin anong meron dito sa syntax na to. So, itong summarize function, it will summarize anong meron dito sa dataset. Okay? Ang column name natin for that, this actually will produce a new table. Ha? So, this one, ito yung column name that will provide us the mean of the credit amount and also the standard deviation. So, pag kaniran nyo to, it will give us this table. Ayan. Okay. It will give us this table. Okay, so wag niyong i-overwrite yung new data kasi pagka nilagay niyo 'to, inassign niyo 'to, mapapalitan yung buong new data niyo nung summarize. So this should be another variable. Halimbawa, summarize or descriptive stat. Hmm, ganyan. Para meron kang another table. So ito ipapakita niya yung table. Okay. Okay. Another very useful function under the PLWire package is the group by function. So itong group by, it summarizes data into groups based on one or more variable. Okay, it is usually used together with the summarize function kasi minsan we are concerned on the mean value of our data set in terms of sex. Halimbawa, gusto mong malaman kung male, kung ano yung mean ng credit amount ng male versus female, ganyan. Okay, so dito mag-work tayo dun sa data natin, no? Halimbawa, so paano ba yung syntax niyan? Kaya ang syntax niyan yung data that we want to group according to some variable. So usually, itong groupings na to, it should be categorical data. So you want to group them according to their sex, to their job, okay, to their savings account, ganyan. And then, ano yung summary statistics that we want it to compute. So, once nag-group niya yun, ano yung i-compute na summary statistics? Okay? Example. So, let's have an example. So, in this example, I want to group our data. So, yung new data natin, so ito male na lang ito, ano? Kaya i-group ko na lang siya. So, for all the male, we will group them according to their housing. So, yung housing nila ay either free, own, or rent, no? According to their housing. And then, we want to compute for the mean and standard deviation of the credit amount. Okay, so pagka nira natin ito, ayan, it will provide us this summary statistics. So, lagay natin dito ay descriptive stat ng male group by housing. Yan. So, para lang, ano, pangalanan natin to. Ito. So, ibig sabihin, ito yung, ano, table, okay, summary table ng mean at saka ng standard deviation of male respondents natin or male individual natin sa dataset. Kasi take note, nanggaling to sa new dataset. Kaya yung new dataset natin consists of only male individuals. Tama? Okay? So, ito ngayon, it produces a table that computes for the mean at saka yung standard deviation ng male individuals in our dataset that is grouped according to their housing. Yan. So, bawa, you want to compare them. No? So, mayroon kang hypothesis, what if kapag kanila yung bahay nila, no? They are allowed to have more credits compared to others. Kasi wala na silang ibang binabayaran unlike kapag nagre-rent. But here, makita nyo, no? Hindi rin. Oo. Mas maraming utang. Or pwede kasing mas mabilis na magbayad ito, ano? Yung mga nag-own. Pero yung mga free yung bahay nila, aba, mas marami silang utang. Mas malaki yung nauutang nila. Okay? Or mas mataas yung status ng utang nila. Okay? Yun yung alamin nyo. Why? Bakit ganun? So, if you want that summary statistics, these are the functions that you can use to manipulate the data. Okay? And last is the data visualization in R. So, in R, there are two um, systems exist in how they produce graphics. So, meron tayong tinatawag na base graphics at saka ggplot graphics. So, yung base graphic, ito yung traditional system where plots are built step by step using function calls. And ggplot naman, ito ay another package, okay, wherein it's a modern system based on the grammar of graphics. So, kumbaga, Same lang din naman yung grammar of graphics niya sa base graphic. Pero, instead of building the building the graphics by step using function calls, dito naka-layered siya. And actually sa ggplot2, mas comprehensive or mas malawak yung kaya niyang i-graph. Unlike sa base graphic na limited with the available function calls na meron sa R. Okay? So, ano yung difference? Tingnan natin. So, this is an example of syntax ng graphics produced by base graphics. Okay? So, first, it use the function plot wherein it create an empty plot. So, ina-assess niya lang muna yung mga range ng data natin. So, it has a function, yung variable na kailangan. Okay? And then, ano yung mga variables? So, here, if we're going to create a plot, meron kang dalawang variables na kino-consider, no? Type n because this is just an empty plot. And then, ano yung x coordinate, ano yung nasa x-axis. Okay, and then yung label ng y-axis. And then on step 2, yung points, it add points doon sa empty plot. So, kumbaga, these are series of functions calls. So, ito ay iba-ibang ano siya, function. Okay? Pagka niran natin yan, ito yung magiging final output niya. Okay? So, to show you, okay, let's have an example. Para lang maintindihan nyo ano yung ibig sabihin ng series of function call, ano? So, pagka niran natin tong first code na to, so kumbaga ito, separate code na to, isang set of code na yan. So, ma-observe niyo ito may empty plot siya. Okay? Then, we can run another codes na kung saan dadagdagan niya, yan, kumbaga, nabubuo yung graph natin by series of function calls. Okay? And then, if we want to add line to emphasize kung meron nga bang linearity dyan, ito yung line. Okay. And then, if we want to add title in our graphs, ito, nilagyan niya lang ng title. And then, last is the legend. So, ganyan mag-produce yung base graphics. Now, pagdating naman natin sa ggplot, ito ay naka-layered. Kung ma-observe nyo, para siyang yung base na merong step 1, step 2, step 3. Pero ito, naka-layered siya in a sense na um, hindi siya basta mapoproduce ng ira-run mo yung code piece by piece. Kailangan i-run mo to ng buo. Kasi kung mapapansin nyo, hindi tapos yung code, oh. So, this one, hindi tapos yung code. Naka-flash siya. Para siyang DPLYR package. Kung naalala nyo, para siyang yung pipe chaining operator. So, ganun yung ggplot. So, tingnan natin ano yung meron dito sa, ano na to, sa graph na ito. So, sa ggplot package, or dito sa ggplot way of um, creating a visuals, kakailanganin nyo yung ggplot package. That's why, niload na natin to kanina. Okay? So, dito, hindi natin siya pwedeng i-run ng piece by piece. So, or pwede siguro ganito lang. Yan, ganyan. Without the plus. Pero dito, kung mapapansin nyo, nagle-layered siya. Oh. Meron siya ng plus. So, hindi ko na to pwedeng i-run ng ganito. Di ba? Mag-e-error na siya. Kasi, it will require the first level. Okay, so pwede natin siguro ito i-highlight hanggang dito para lang makita nyo rin na para siyang piece by piece din. Ano? And then ito, next ito. Pero nagpo-produce siya ng one set of values. Ayan. So kung mapapansin nyo, yung first, meron ka ding empty na empty plot. And then biglang nagkaroon ng points. Yung geom smooth, siya yung nag-create ng line. Ano? Yung geom text, ito yung nag-create ng labels. Actually, yung geomtext, ang maganda dito sa geomtext, ang ginagawa niya, pwede kang magkaroon ng labels for specific points. Halimbawa, dito, ang ginawa natin, nilabelan natin kung halimbawa yung credit amount is greater than 15,000. So, halimbawa, gusto natin i-emphasize, sino-sino itong mga to? Okay? So, dito, nililabelan niya lang yung mga greater than 15,000. So, ito, yung may identity number na to 75, 344, sila yung malalaki yung naging credit amount. Yung facet wrap naman, gino-group by niya. Okay, so dito, i-group natin according sa job. So, ito sama-sama ito eh. Sama-sama tong graph na ito na kung saan um, ina-identify natin yung relationship ng duration and credit amount, no? So, makikita natin, possible na merong relationship ang duration at credit amount. So, pag mas mataas yung credit amount, you have to pay it for a long period of time. Di ba? Kapag maliit yung amount, you just pay it for a short period of time. I-apply mo lang siya for a short period of time. Parang ganun yung hinahanap natin. Ito, may relationship ba yung dalawang yon? Okay? So, kung according sa job, so pwede kasing kapag marami kang trabaho, mas marami kang pambayad, ano? So, doon, magme-make sense. Pero it doesn't mean na kapag maliit yung credit amount mo, dapat maliit mo lang siya bayaran. Eh, paano kung yung capacity ng tao ay, dahil wala siyang job, matagal niya pa rin mabayaran, ano? So, let's try to group it according to its job. So, yun yung pa-setrap. So, ito, since meron tayong apat na classifications sa job, we have 0, 1, 2, at saka 3. Ito yung grouping. So, mapapansin nyo dito sa 0 na yung walang trabaho, hindi linear yung relationship, kalat-kalat, ano? Pero habang dumadami yung trabaho, nagme-make sense yung ating hypothesis na kapag mas mataas yung credit amount, doon mas matagal bayaran. Kapag maliit lang, mabilis lang din bayaran. Ganyan. Okay? And then in last, tingnan natin itong team. Tingnan natin ano yung ginagawa nitong team. Ayan. So, pinakita niya lang yung ano sa ilalim. No? So, yung labels, nilagay niya lang sa ilalim. And then last is yung mga titles, yung mga labels. Ayan. So, para magkaroon lang ng labels. Ayan. Okay? So, that's all for introduction to our programming language.